we can, things we all know have been quite difficult for all of us lately. And this webinar was prepared keeping that in mind. A few things before we start. We will do a Q&A in the end of our presentation. So make sure to write down your questions. You can also use the chat box during the webinar, and one of my co-hosts will try to answer your questions there. Everything that will be presented here will be shared with you in an email after the webinar. So please make sure to check that. Without further ado, let's get into it. I would like to share a presentation that we did with you. And before we start, let's look at today's session's aims. I think it's very important to set aims right in the beginning. So by the end of this webinar, I hope that all participants will learn how to digitize all aspects and materials of teaching, be more confident about using online resources for improving the 4 skills of English learning: reading, writing, speaking, and listening. And the last aim, which I think is very important, be able to use online games to make classes more fun. I find games to be very important resource in online teaching because I noticed, at least in my students, the tendency to get easily distracted or disconnected mentally while doing classes online. It's understandable as they're not in a physical class with all their colleagues, and they're behind a screen. So I find that games really help with engaging them. And our contents for today will be planning lessons for online classes, games and online resources, free webinars and trainings that we will talk about, and exams. Now I will give the mic to my colleague and my co-host Diana to come and talk about planning lessons for online classes. Diana, please, welcome.
Thank you. And first I want to say welcome to everyone. We are glad that you are here, and hopefully we can learn some things together today. Okay, so I will start with the planning part and present you the listed materials you can see here on this slide. And first I'm going to show you a list of resources and activities which you can use with younger learners, and then I will move forward to some examples for higher levels of English. So first, the handbooks include detailed information about exams and the typical general abilities for students at each level. You have an example here for A1 movers level. And besides the word list and picture books for young learners, you will find a list of activities based on them, which you can practice with your students. And I really want to try some activities with you today in order to demonstrate them. So I want you to help me and do these activities together, okay? So this is an example for pre-A1 starters level, and I want us to try this activity together and review some vocabulary from this unit using the picture book. So what I'm going to do first is make this poster bigger for you to see it clearer. And I'm going to ask you to search for the menu on your screen. It should be at the top of the screen, and to search for view option there. So at the top of the screen, you may have a menu. Please search for view options. And then the 4th option there should be annotate. So if you go to view options and then click on annotate, you can be able to write on my screen. Okay, so click on annotate from view option. And now okay, you can do that. Very good. I can see that on the screen. Thank you. Good. So now you can write on my screen. That's nice. Good, guys. So I'm going to give you some instructions, just as we are in class. I can see a lot of drawings here, but I'm going to clear them all for now, because I want to give you some instructions, just as we are in class and you are the students, and I will ask you to do something with these animals. For example, let's start with circling animals. Can you please circle the elephant? Try to circle it. I want to see that. Okay, thank you. Oh my God, good. I can see that you covered the whole elephant there. Thank you very much. Nice try. Thank you, guys. Now, can you please circle the tiger's tail? Let's find the tiger's tail and circle it. That's nice. Great, guys. You covered the tiger's tail as well. Very good. Thank you. Now, can you please look at these animals below the picture? They are below the poster. You can draw lines from there and try to put the lizard between the giraffe and the elephant, please. So find the lizard and put it between the giraffe and the elephant. Thank you. Excellent. Nice. Thank you very much. Now find the crocodile and put it in the water. Find the crocodile and put it in the water. Very good. That's nice. So I can see that you have learned how to use the annotate option from there. We will need it later as well for the other activities. I want to show you another one, because besides poster, you can also use flashcards. So I'm going to show you this picture, which is with flashcards and animals, and you can also use it for revising some vocabulary. These are also animals, and we will use the same option, annotate, and we will try to play this game, okay? It's the guessing game. I'm going to describe some animals, and I will ask you to circle them, or if you want to, you can try to stamp the right box with the animal, okay? So if you go to view options and annotate, okay, you found some of you could find the stars there, the stamps. Very good. Okay, now pay attention to my instructions. So this animal is small and green, and it can jump. Which animal is that? Okay, very good. Thank you. It's a frog. It's the little frog there. Thank you. Now let's try another one quickly. This animal is small and brown, and it can fly. Thank you. It's that one. It's the bird. Thank you, guys. You are great. You're doing a great job. That's nice. I'm going to clear it all again in order to move forward. Okay, so for A1 mover students, you can practice their speaking skill on this picture, and I'm going to show you in a bit, and I will make it bigger, because this is what I do with students to practice their speaking skills in class, by giving or sharing with them this picture, and ask them to spot the differences, as you can see in this picture. So I usually do this in class by grouping them or pairing them. So that's what I'm going to do with you now. So first I will make it bigger. And the first tip here is that I want to ask you to take a photo of this picture, of this slide, because you will need it when you will talk in pairs, in groups. So I'm going to let you now to take a photo on your phone. So if you are on your mobile phones, you can take a screenshot of this. You will see that on Zoom, as hosts and teachers, you will be able to group the students in different groups, in different breakout rooms, and you can find that option on the menu as well. So I'm going to group you in 4 or 5 people in a group. Let me see if I can do it. Mary, can you do it? Can you check, please, if you can do it?
I will try.
Okay, so you have the option of breakout room there.
Yes.
Okay, then please help me with this one.
Yes, I'm going to do it now.
Okay.
So I will make, sorry, go ahead.
Okay, so try to split everyone in groups of 4 or 5 people in order for them to spot the differences in the pictures and talk about it.
Okay, I did that, and we have 50 rooms, and I will open them now. You should see an option, so please click on it.
Okay, you also have on the screen a message that tells you to join the breakout room, so you should click on join to go to your breakout room, okay? And we will see you in 2 minutes here after the time is up, okay? Mary, can you please set the time as well from breakout rooms?
Yes.
Okay, set it to 2 minutes, please.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Please click join and go to your breakout rooms now. Okay, I can see some of you are already in the breakout rooms. Can you see that, Mary?
Yes, and some of you have joined just now, so I will try putting them in the breakout rooms as well.
Okay. You will see that on this option, you can actually manage the groups and you can change them later if you want the students to get involved. And you have to remind them every time they need, and every time you see they are confused and so on, you have to remind them to what to do.
That was unsuccessful for me.
Okay. Let's see why is that.
Well, I landed in a group 32 and there was nothing there. There was no, excuse me, there was no picture and there were only 2 or 3 people who were muted and nothing was happening. So I came back.
But the picture isn't shared anymore, so that's why I asked you to take a photo of the slide to have it with you in the group.
I
But
see.
I see that some people didn't join the breakout room, so I guess that's why you were there alone.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, but Mary, please, can you move? Can you move the participants there?
I will go in. I will go anywhere you wish.
Okay, let's see where Mary wants you to be.
So there should be an option on your screen that you can rejoin the breakout room.
Mm-hmm. Please say where to look.
There should be a message on the screen which says the host is inviting you to join breakout room, and you have the number of the breakout room. You should click on join.
I think she... All right. The rooms are about to close.
Okay. We will meet soon.
Mm-hmm.
How many seconds do we have, Mary?
30 seconds.
Okay. And the countdown begins. Okay, it's good that most of them tried it. I can see that you have found some differences in the pictures, but I would also like to see what the other ones, what the other participants discovered.
Dar astea ce sunt aici? Filmate, nu?
Yes, these are some pictures that you can use for the speaking activities, for the writing ones if you want them to make sentences about the differences. All back to Mary, can you check?
I'm sorry, can you please repeat that? You were on mute for a second.
Okay, sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, can you check if everyone is back again?
Yes, everyone is back now.
Okay, good guys. So welcome back. First, so I hope you enjoyed it as much as my students did. And I hope that the problems weren't so big, actually. And I'm glad that most of you tried it to see how it's like. So my students really love these activities, you know, grouping them and pairing them and do these activities together. It's very motivating for them. So I can see that you have found the differences and you circle them now. And that's great that you found it, yes. I do the same thing when I check the exercises with them. So I've seen you find them. Good guys. Let's move forward to tell you that actually you can use posters with older students as well. So here is an example of vocabulary about free time activities. And basically you can adapt the same activities we have tried until now, and you can put them to, of course, draw on the screen and make signs and put stamps and so on. You can also ask them to name the actions and talk about them in pairs. They can talk about which one of them they like or don't like, and after that you have the option to uncover the language section at the bottom of the poster, and in pairs and groups as well you can ask them to use the adjectives to give reasons why they like or don't like some activities. And I will show you another thing, which is a handout. And with it, you can extend the exercise by showing them this. And during the speaking activity, you can ask them to put stamps next to each adjective they used. So they have to basically use some of the adjective or all of them if they can in a period of time. And they should put, very good, stamps on each adjective, next to each adjective they use while doing the speaking activity. So I can see that you have chosen some adjectives from there, and you did that very well. Okay, so let's say a student says, I like playing basketball because let's say it's exciting, and they go to that box and very good, they stamp on it or make a sign there or write their name there, okay, because they have that action as well. Okay, I can say that I like this webinar because it's interesting, and I will put my heart and star there. Thank you very much. If you think about this the same, you just did that. Thank you guys. Okay, I have to clear this all again in order for you to see the pictures clearly. So I wanted to also tell you that you can find speaking test videos on Cambridge Assessment English website and show your learners what happens during the speaking part. And I personally find it very useful that we can use this video during classes. I showed my pre-A1 starter students the first video from here, and what I did is I stopped it after the examiner's questions and asked them to answer. And I think this is such a good practice for them because they actually can see how this part is going to be at the exam, and they will also be very prepared for that part. And on the other hand, for older students, you can play this video and give them worksheets with questions about it. What I did is ask them questions about what they have seen in the video. Questions like how many parts will they have at the speaking exam, and maybe how many examiners are there in the video, because they need to know that as well to be prepared, or how many students are talking in the video, and so on. And for us, it's very important to get our students emotionally prepared. And I think that for students, it's very encouraging to know what to expect that day. And I also want to quickly tell you about this program, which is called Weekly. And this program helps you to create a free personalized plan for your lessons. So as you can see in this picture, if you go on the website, all you have to do is choose an exam that you need, that you would like to build the plan for, and the amount of time you have for exam preparation with your class. And after that, you will click on build my plan, and you will have the weekly plans with materials you can adapt for your students' needs. Yeah, so this is another helpful resource that you can use with your students. Okay, guys, I can see you're still drawing. So you enjoyed it as much as my students do. Okay, that will be all from me now. And Mary, please tell them more about some online games and resources.
Okay, thank you, Gianna. Hello again. All right, I will share my screen. Okay. All right, now let's look at some games and other engaging online resources that we can use for our classes. I want to go through them based on the skills. And let's start with writing. I wanted to start with writing because in my experience, students struggle in writing the most. There are too many things to focus, like grammar, punctuation, structuring your piece of work. But it is nearly impossible for a teacher like me to check each and every one of my students' work because I have like 150 students or more. So what do? I use writeandimprove.com. Let's check this out. This is a lifesaver, honestly. I want to show you how to do this. So what students do is that they go on this website and they sign in. They create a profile and they can track their progress. So as you can see, you have the levels over here. You can choose any level as a student. Let's see intermediate level. And then you're given a lot of tasks. All these pages are full of tasks. You can practice each and every one, or you can go as you wish. And once you get the okay to move forward, you could go to the next level. The good thing about this website is that it has instant feedback. I will show you here. Okay, so here, the screen. So this is a writing done by a student and the feedback. You can see all the mistakes that are highlighted. Each and every sign has a meaning and they know what it is. Usually it's given on the side. And also, if you can see the feedback here, great, your writing level is B1. Now try to improve your writing to raise your level. So they can try to do this assignment again and then click check again here. And they can see if they improved something or not. What I do is that I give homeworks to students for writing here. And then when they come to class, they show me what they've done on their phones, like a screenshot of their feedback. So I find it very easy to track their progress this way. Let's look at Pen Friends, which is very, oh, by the way, Write and Improve is good for A1 and above levels. And Pen Friends is good for all the levels that you can think of. Okay, You can think of Pen Friends as LinkedIn for professionals. And it's a very safe way to connect with other students. Students can only sign up through their teachers. The teacher has to register the school. If you can see this in the menu, you can see here about safeguarding. You have all the information of how a child is protected. And you have Join Pen Friends. How to get started. It gives all the information here. But let me just briefly tell you that the teachers sign up and register the school. And then the teacher also chooses what school the students should connect with. Students will write some cards and the teacher uploads them and sends them forward to the other school. This is how they get connected. The other school then has about 10 days to reply back. I think it's fun because it's not like homework or like writing exercise. So students feel like, you know, they're writing a letter or an email to a friend, and they stay focused. Okay, let's look at listening. Virtually anywhere. These are some of the resources that I use to practice listening with my students. Let's look at Virtually Anywhere, which is for B1 preliminary and above levels. And you can find this on cambridgeenglish.org. You will be given the booklet in the end of the webinar, so you will find this information there as well. So basically, this is a listening audio series, and it has these episodes, as you can see. Let's click on the first one. So not only does it provide with the audio and the transcript, it also provides us with a lesson plan, which is here. Download the lesson plans for episodes 1 and 2. Here you can see all the teachers' notes, the aims, the time needed for this, the level, B1, B2. And then you have the procedure. And in the end of this, you also have the worksheet. So what I basically do these days is that I send my students the worksheet via email or through WhatsApp group. So they have it ready when we do the listening exercise, and they just fill it and send it back. You see students worksheet number 2, and then you have all the questions over here. And all you have to do is just take this and apply it. It's very easy. It really cuts the preparation time for teachers. It's a great resource. I personally love using this one. And then we have lyrics training, which is for pre-A1 starters. You can also use this for movers, which is A1 and A2. So it's pre-A1, A1 level, and A2 level. Let's look at this one. So we have a video over here, and if you can hear it. So they're at the bottom, and what I do with my students is that I sing along with it, and they're very good at catching on it. And they can not only practice their listening this way, they also learn vocabulary very easily through this. So with young kids, it's one of the best resources that I find to be very useful. Okay, now let's see reading. Monkey Puzzles app, which is a mobile app. So what you have to do is that you can either visit this website to download the app from your phone, or you can just simply go into Play Store or App Store, any kind of phone that you have will have an App Store. Just go there and download this app. I ask my students to do this, and they can play games. So they have games like these. They have different types of games. They have audio and reading, so they can read something and then hear the audio for it. It's very fun for kids to use these kind of games. But then again, I don't use this for teaching. I use this for reinforcing what I've already taught them. So it's really good for them in the sense that when they go home, they think of it as a game and they practice with it. So it's a very good reinforcement way to practice. Okay, and then we have Exam Lift, which is for B1 and preliminary and above level. So if you see this here, this is not just for listening. It actually focuses on all the 4 skills. So listening, reading, you can see here in the picture, speed reading, error finding, dialogue, and minimal pairs, which is error finding is for writing. And the good thing about this is that they see their progress in percentages. So once they're done with a certain task, and if they've improved from before, they see like a percentage of the improvement or their progress. And usually what I do is that I ask them to show me their progress from their phone. So they come to class and they show me, look, this is how much I progressed in this part of this skill, this reading, this writing, this speaking skill. You can again download it from the App Store of your phone. Okay, let's talk about speaking. Diana, my colleague, has already talked about speaking test videos for both young and older learners. There's a playlist for speaking test videos in the booklet that will be provided to you after this webinar. However, I have it open here, so I just want to show you this is the booklet, and these are the speaking test videos. If you click here, you see the playlist. I personally like using it just the way my colleague talked about. I show it to my students. It's very helpful for both teachers and students to watch. And they can help set expectations right and guide you to prepare for exams. So I won't focus on this too much. You can find this in the booklet. Okay, and then I want to talk about the digital teacher. Oh my God, this is one of the best things that I've discovered. Let's see this. Okay, the digital teacher is a website containing literally everything that you can think of. It has, if you look at the framework here, the digital world, the digital classroom, the digital teacher. It says that the digital teacher includes digital tools and resources that you can use in your class. You can also test your digital skills as a teacher. You need to log in for that. And you can see what areas you need to improve. You have trainings over here, which are amazing. You can sign up for these trainings. See here, training, which is 15 to 30 minutes. You can sign up for this. You can watch this. It will help you. You also have lesson plans, complete lesson plans. And this is actually one for speaking activity. So you have the speaking activity lesson plan over here. You have the learning objectives, additional objectives, you have resources, and then notes and students' handouts. So basically, you have everything over here. You don't have to work on anything. You just need to look through it and prepare, and that's all. And one good thing that I found, which I think is quite advanced, is using AI to learn, which is again on digital teacher. Your learners, your students can talk to AI chatbots, and they're basically English language speech assistants. they can help your students practice English. I think it's a very good example of using AI to advance learning. I think this is amazing. It always blows my mind when I think about this. You will have this website as well in the booklet. So basically, the digital teacher includes lots of information about digital tools, techniques, training. It covers all aspects of teaching, and it contains lesson plans as well as AI. Okay, let's look at online quizzes. Kahoot. This is my students' beloved game. They just can't get enough of it, and I think it's personally really fun. I want to show you a bit about how this works. I'm pretty sure a lot of you have used Kahoot. So you need to log in, and if you don't have a profile, just create one. I usually log in with my Google account like this. And then on Kahoot, you can play quizzes with your students. You will need 2 devices. So basically your device, which is the computer, and the student's device, which could be a laptop, or it could also be a phone, whatever they find easy. Most of my students use phones for Kahoot. And I use Kahoot in the end of my classes because I like to reinforce what I teach them. So for example, let's do past simple. Let's say that the lesson was about past simple. And you can search for it. You can also create your own quiz, but it's not necessary because you can find a lot of quizzes here. And then let's say I choose this one with 30 questions. So what students need to do is that they need to go on their phone and download the Kahoot app. There, when they open it, they will see a screen with something like a game pin that they will have to enter. And they will get the game pin from me. So when I open this, I choose whether I want team mode or classic mode, which is player versus player or team versus team. And here they have a pin. This is the pin. This is the pin that they will enter on their app, and it will lead them to the quiz. Okay. On our webinar presentation. So if you can see this. So this is their phone. They have only the colors or the signs for the question, the answers. They see the question on the screen and the options also on the screen. So they just have to press the right color for the answers. And they instantly have their answer, whether their answer was correct or not. So instant feedback, you can see their scores in the end of the quiz. And it's more like a competition. They try to, score better than their colleagues and win. And in the end, there's like a little bit of clapping and some music for the ones who win. Okay, there's another one which is called Quizlet, which my colleague Diana will talk about. But for now, before we move on to that, I want to talk about the webinars and online trainings. So as I said before, we have the digital teacher where there are so many online trainings. We also have online trainings on the Cambridge English Assessment Center's website. I will briefly show them to you. These are the upcoming trainings. You can see, okay, these are not the upcoming ones. Anyways, they are the ones that have already happened, but you can find their videos and you can find the information that they talked about. But you can always find upcoming ones, like on the next ones that are happening 6th of May to 2020 Wednesday. So you can join them. Please keep checking them so that you find all the trainings that are coming up, so you can stay up to date. All right, this will also be in your booklet, so you can access it from there. All right, now I will invite my colleague Diana to come and talk about Quizlet. Diana?
Yeah, I also wanted to share this information with you. I have recently discovered Quizlet, which helps you either teach or practice vocabulary with students. And basically, it's pretty similar to Kahoot, but I have seen that you have a lot of options there, like more options that you can practice with your students.
Diana, would you please
let
share?
me share my screen first. Okay, I'm going to click on the website as well, because I wanted to see some activities from there. So on the website, I have seen that you can create flashcards, or you can just search for some topics there and try some activities with students. Let me quickly show you. So you have the search button here, and if you want to create a set of cards, you can try it here. You have to also make an account here. I think I logged in with my Google account. So you can do that as well, or your Facebook account, I guess. So let's try a topic, this one, school, and you will see some options here. You know, first you have the flashcards with the words, and here they have pictures. Okay, and there are many of them. Okay, I think it's pretty easy for them to pay attention to these kind of activities. Everything that is online is very appealing to them, and they are happy to do it and to pay attention to it. Okay, you have also this this learn option here, which is a kind of a quiz. They have sentences that they have to fill in with the right answers below the questions. They may have pictures there, and they have to choose again the correct word for that picture in order to see if they paid attention, and in order to check them. They also have this option called spell, and if you go there, they can hear actually the correct pronunciation of the word, and after that they have to type it, or they will hear a description or definition or a sentence, and they have to reproduce it. Let's see if we can hear this one. First, I will share my computer sound in order to all of you can hear it.
Detention. Detention.
So here is the word, here's a definition, and they have to type that word, and they can hear
Detention.
many times. They also have an online test that they can do. These are some questions that we typically use in our classroom, but it's online and it's more interesting for them. Yeah, they can see everything. They have multiple choice, gap filling exercises. And I've seen that they also have the chance to play live a game. Basically, it's just as Kahoot. They have to search on Play Store the app, install it on their phones, download it and install it. And after that, they have to make an account as well and introduce their information there. And after that, they can use it. I haven't tried it yet, but I intend to after the holiday. And actually, I haven't decided on the homework for holiday. And I think this is a great idea for them to try it, you know, because they can play it at home. They can do it at home, and they can take screenshots of their work. And after the holiday, they can share the pictures with me. They also have this option here, which is called Gravity, and it's an online game they can try here. So basically here they are in space and they have to pay attention to the asteroids. Okay, of course they have some questions or sentences they have to fill. If not, they have the definitions and they have to put the word there, the correct word, or the other way around. And they have to type their answers here, and after that enter it, and they will receive the feedback immediately after this one. Yeah, I really think I will try it with my students, and I hope they will enjoy it as much as I do, because I think it's pretty challenging for them, and it looks pretty interesting. Yeah, and as you can see, actually there is a range of other options to try online, and I'm really looking forward to trying this one. So if you have tried it, you can just write in the chat box, and we will see afterwards in the Q&A section how many of you tried it, and if you have some advice for us, we can share it there for the other teachers to support them. Thank you, guys. We are back now. Mary?
So please ask any questions that you have.
Okay, I could see that many teachers or many of you have tried these activities. And if you want to support the other teachers, you can share some information about your experience from them by using these online platforms. There's a question here: what booklet have you been referring to? After this this session, this webinar, you will also receive a feedback form, and please fill that that feedback form and send it again back to us in order to receive the certificate for this webinar. I hope it was enjoying, and I hope it was interesting and appealing to you. And and after that, you will receive also the email with all the information we have talked about here. And there you will find that booklet with all the links and materials and resources and online stuff that we have talked about.
I see a question from Magdalena. How can we disable annotation from Zoom when we don't want the students to write on the screen? So when you're sharing your screen, you see an option for more, and you click on that. When you click on that, you will see an option for disabling annotation. You can also activate another option which says which shows the name of the person who's annotating, so that you know which student is being naughty. Okay.
All the resources, yes, that we have mentioned here are free. Most of them, we have tried them, and they were really useful to us.
Mm-hmm. Which is your favorite online tool? My favorite online tool is Write and Improve. I give that to my students literally every other week. I think it's amazing, and I highly encourage you all to try it. What about you, Diana?
Well, actually, I have to tell you that my favorite skill would be reading, and after that, writing. So I try to mix them playing Kahoot, and I've tried Kahoot with the younger students as well. And I'm looking forward to trying Quizlet as well, because there are many options there. Mm-hmm. But with my younger students, I also enjoy playing videos for them. Mm-hmm. And after that, ask them to do activities with those videos. They are keen on the video and audio parts in our lessons.
Mm-hmm. Okay, there's another question. How do you correct the writing task that you give the students? If I give them a writing task on writeandimprove.com, I don't have to correct it. It's automatically corrected. They get a detailed feedback, so I don't have to correct it. All they have to do is show me a screenshot of what they did in class, or they can even email me a screenshot of the feedback that they receive. So it's very easy to track their progress this way. Okay.
I can see another question here. What about young kids who can't read? I actually have a pre-A1 starters group. And basically what I do with them is, okay, not focusing on the writing part, but I usually get in touch very often with their parents and ask them to help them during the lesson. And if not, and we just don't do the writing part, and I just show them pictures, talk about them, ask them or involve them to participate in the activity by drawing on the board or on the screen. By the way, you also have an option here in the menu, and beside the fact that you can share your screen, you can also share a whiteboard, which is really next to the screen. Yeah. And there you can split that board in many parts, and depending on the number of the students that you have, you can assign them different activities to do on that board using the annotate option. Again, for the annotate option, you can try to explain them how to get there. And if they can't, again, I get in touch with the parents, I speak with them before the lesson, and I tell them, please help me with the lesson of today, because I want to do this activity, and let's try together to find the right resources there on the menu, and they can do it for the kids.
I see there's a question here that says, how do you split the students in teams on Zoom? When you're the host, you see an option on your screen called Breakout Rooms. When you click on that, you will be able to split students in different teams and send them to different rooms. But you have to be a host to do that. Okay, and I think there's another question. How do you do with the tests? We had a lot of them in paper and pen format. So you can use Google Forms for tests. I personally use that. I prepared the test on Google Forms, and I just send out the links to my students, and they click on the right answers. And once the students submit their answers, I get an email with, so I have like a spreadsheet where their answers are registered. So I personally use Google Forms. Okay. How do I get? Okay.
I want to also say thank you for all the positive feedback here.
Are there any certificates to follow the participation to this webinar? There is another question. Yes, we will send you, you will receive a certificate of participation, but you will have to fill in the feedback form that you will receive after this webinar. And after that, you will receive certificates. So please make sure to check out your emails after this. You will also receive the slides and the booklet in the email. All the links and all the materials that all the tools that we talked about are in that booklet. Okay.
Okay, I will also share on the group, on the chat, sorry, our Facebook group. You can check for updates or materials there. There is a group especially made for teachers, and there you can find all the information about this webinar and more resources that we use. And you can try the links there as well, because I have seen that some of you have written in the chat box that they couldn't open some links and some pages. Maybe it's because of the connection, or if not, I think that many people are trying to do that at the same time, so that can be a reason as well.
There's a question, could you please give us an example of teaching online? Can you please ask again? Like, I'm not really sure if I understand that question. Can you please clarify a little bit? Yes, yes, everything is about practicing. Exactly. This is relatively new to most of us. I was not an online teacher, so this is also a learning curve for me. But we're trying to do our best, and we have the support, which we have the support from Cambridge. We have support, we can support each other. So I think we're very lucky in this aspect that we can do this for each other and continue our work. Yes, you can try Quizlet, you can try Kahoot.
Yeah, on Quizlet you have that option with the flashcards, and you can put pictures there, and after that, behind that picture, you can write the word. And this way, they have also audiovisual materials that they can use.
So the free version of Zoom has limited options. So many of the tools do not appear there. So what can we do then? For example, if you register on Zoom through your school's email, like for example, my account is through my school. So I have some options that are not available to somebody who's not registered through a school. Recently, the founder of Zoom announced that he's going to make Zoom free and cut off that 40-minute limit to meetings. But for schools, so this is why if you register through your school, you will have a lot more options. However, the sending file, transferring file option has disappeared, unfortunately. And the solution to that is that I usually share with my students. If I have to send them a handout, I share it with them on WhatsApp. I have my students' groups on WhatsApp, so I send it to them there, or I share it on the drive with all my students. So this is something that I have done, and so far it's working. I know it's a little longer, it's a little more hassle, but it does work. Okay. Yes, you could also share your screen, and you can show them. And there is actually an option when you're sharing screen. They can either save what has been written on the screen, or they can take a screenshot or a picture through their phone. Sometimes when I want them to do tests, but not exams, but like class tests, not important ones, I do it this way. I share my screen with them, and they either take a screenshot or a photo, and then they do their tests on a document and share it with me, send it to me through email. Yes.
Yeah, someone said that you can no longer send materials with Zoom.
Yes.
We have seen that, and we have tried to discover new ways of sharing materials with students. So I guess some of you already have private groups with your students on WhatsApp or other platforms, Facebook groups. You can send them the materials there before the lesson starts, or a couple of days before. And you can tell them what you are going to do in the lesson with them. Maybe you want them to check them on, or if not, they should have it prepared for the lesson. Another way you can do this is the option of share screen. If it's just a picture or a short text, you can just ask them to take a screenshot if they are on their phones, or if not, just take a picture with their phone to that material to use it in groups or with the whole class.
Yes, and Google Drive as well is a great option. Yes, you can share, you can upload the material on Google Drive. Yes, anything that you want your students to see, and share the link with them. Yes, exactly. That's a great one. Yes. Pro accounts have the sharing option. It's just the free accounts. Google Classroom is a great tool as well. There was actually a webinar done by one of our colleagues on these online tools to have classes like Zoom or Google Classroom. Which one do you consider to be the most motivating for students? Which one of the online tools, you mean, like online resources that we talked about? So the writing part, okay, can you repeat the site where we can have the writing part? Yes, so it's called writeandimprove.com, but you will receive this in the booklet. So you will find it there. If you're talking about the most motivating tool that students use for learning, I guess it's somehow those apps that show progress, because it gets them into this mood that they want to do better, they want to score higher. So I think those apps are really good for motivating students. And also a little bit of competition in class is always good.
And I also think it's useful for them to just work at home at their own pace and practice what you have done during lessons. That's a good practice for them that they can do in particular, because they take their time and they are maybe more focused then, and they can do better. And yes, immediate feedback is also really important in motivating them.
Mm-hmm. Do you have to create a task and write and improve, or are there tasks and students have to do those, just have to do those? You don't have to create a task. They can go and choose. There are tasks already there, and they just have to choose a task. You can tell them that you want them to do a review or a proposal or an essay or an article, and they will find different tasks related to these things. So they can choose any essay, any article, any task that requires them to write these things and show them to you later on. So no, you don't have to create a task. It's a great tool. I will tell you again, please try it.
I think yes, you can give them your own task, right, Mary?
You can give them your own tasks, but you will need to check it personally. The tasks that are there are given by writeandimprove.com, and they have, I'm not sure how it works, like what is the mechanism behind checking the tasks and giving a instant feedback, but I'm pretty sure it's some sort of algorithm they use. I'm going to try muting. Hold on, please. Okay.
Okay, I'm going to say this again, that you don't have to pay for the online resources that we have presented. And I remember about that question about Zoom, that you have to pay for it if you want other option or many options there in the menu. As far as I know, if you register, as Mary said, if you register with your school account, I think all of the options will be free for you to use them. Advantage of these online platforms and resources, materials that you can find there, especially on the Cambridge Assessment English website, you can adapt all of them for, or at least most of them, for the online classes. That's what we have discovered. That's what we are trying to do Also, we are improving our skills on Zoom, even though we have prepared ourselves for this period of time, but still. We are still watching tutorials about platforms, online platforms that we can use with our students. So we feel you.
How can we make a student the host? There's an option on Zoom. When you click on the person's name, participant's name, you can see an option that says make host. But I would highly recommend against it. You can also, I'm not sure if you can do it on a free account, but I think you can also make somebody co-host. Okay. Somebody asked, do you have to pay for the online resources you presented? No, they're absolutely free. Yes, you could also use remote control and give your student a student's control of your screen. The students will have to buy the books for activation code. Or your school. Yes, Write and Improve is AI and it can give feedback on both language and content. Exactly. Yes, you can make a Zoom account in the name of the school. You will have to use the school's school's email address that's given to you. All right. If there are any other questions, we will be ending in a few minutes. Thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you for feedback. We really hope that it was useful for you and that you will try some of the resources that we have mentioned, and you can with them you can easily involve your students in the online classes. You can discover many other options on Zoom actually, and you can use your imagination or creativity as well to adapt the activities. As I said, in that booklet that you will receive on the email, you will find more materials. We haven't mentioned them all. And in that booklet, you also have the option to click on those materials and they will lead you to those sites to download the materials and to see them.
And when you receive the booklet, please do check it out. There are more things that we were not able to cover in such a short webinar, such a short time, but these were one of the most important things that we found to be most important that we shared with you here. But there are many more on the booklet. Please check it out. You will receive it in an email, and please do not forget to fill in the feedback form because that's how you will receive your certificate. So you need to fill the feedback form first. Thank you for attending the webinar. And thank you so much for the encouragement and these messages. I'm glad that you found this useful. Thank you. All right, have a good day, everyone, and good luck with using these resources and teaching. And I hope that we were useful. We were somehow useful in this time, in this crazy time. And it was really nice to meet you all here and to see you all. Yes. Thank you so much. Stay safe and have a great week. Bye-bye.
Goodbye, everyone. Thank you for coming and being here.